Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Warning. Spoilers ahead for The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5. One of the most entertaining storylines in The White Lotus Season 3 has been the girls' trip with lifelong friends Jaclyn, Michelle Monaghan, Laurie, Carrie Coon, and Kate, Leslie Bibb, which has largely been defined by their in-group gossiping, mockery, and subtle backstabbing, while putting on a face of love and friendship. Whether it was Jaclyn and Kate secretly discussing Laurie's divorce, Laurie and Kate gossiping about Jaclyn's new marriage, or Jaclyn and Laurie criticizing Kate's politics and changes in Texas, The White Lotus Season 3 has been gradually building to an explosive confrontation on their vacation. After The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5's ending, it's now clear what moment is going to set off the girl group's big arguments. Since Jaclyn and Kate are both married, the former has been trying to push the recently divorced Laurie to make a move on their health mentor Valentine, leading the three women to join Valentine and two of his friends at a club, and later, back to their pool. While the gossiping and catness had been relatively even and forgivable before this episode, Michelle Monaghan's Jaclyn finally goes too far when having a secret rendezvous with Valentine. From the get-go, it was clear that Jaclyn, Laurie, and Kate are all bad friends to one another. They grew up together and remained friends throughout various life phases, but they no longer have anything in common or seem happy about the other's accomplishments. Their friendship has become a game of pretending to love each other while really just wanting to prove that each is better off than the others in some way. However, they could still lie to themselves about really liking each other when their transgressions were confined to secret gossip sessions and judgmental facial reactions. That's no longer the case after The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 5, as Jaclyn has evolved from comparatively harmless gossiping to a real act of betrayal against her friends. By secretly sleeping with Valentine, Jaclyn has broken the trust of both Laurie and Kate, who thought that meeting up with these guys would just be a night of innocent fun. However, Jaclyn has now cheated on her husband and made the other White Lotus characters complicit, while also going behind Laurie's back to take the guy she was flirting with for herself. Jaclyn, of course, knows that sleeping with Valentine that night was wrong and would cause issues if Kate and Laurie found out, which is why she waits until they're asleep before she invites Valentine back to her room. Jaclyn, Kate, and Laurie all going behind each other's backs to gossip during their vacation is something they could easily move on from, as it's implied that they've been doing that exact thing their entire lives. However, Jaclyn secretly hooking up with Valentine is a much worse offense that more strongly puts into question her loyalty to and respect for her friends. The person who would be hurt most by Jaclyn hooking up with Valentine would be Laurie, as Jaclyn had been frequently encouraging Laurie to pursue him since The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 2. Laurie was hesitant, but finally decided to let her guard down and dance with Valentine while they all went out in Episode 5. Even before the guys left, Laurie whispered something inaudible into Valentine's ear, so she was clearly still interested in him at that point. As such, Laurie would feel rightfully betrayed by her friend for secretly inviting him over shortly after. Meanwhile, Kate has a different reason to be upset with Jaclyn for her actions. Earlier in The White Lotus Season 3, Kate and Jaclyn had bonded over being married, though the latter's marriage was much more recent. Since Kate also has more traditional beliefs about marriage and relationships, she's apt to be more judgmental of Jaclyn for cheating on her husband, especially with Kate and Laurie being close by when it happened. Though they've all wronged each other on this vacation, Jaclyn's actions will be more difficult for Kate and Laurie to forgive. Each group in The White Lotus Season 3 is said to have a major fallout, whether it be the Radcliffe family's downfall, Rick seeking out his father's murderer, or Greg trying to keep Belinda quiet. At this point, it's difficult to guess who will leave Thailand, still okay and on good terms with each other. That also depends on who dies in the White Lotus Season 3, but the girl group seems the least stable. After decades of smaller aggressions against one another, Jaclyn betraying Laurie could finally be what breaks up the friend group for good. However, this is also the White Lotus, where Mike White likes to tease audiences into believing every character group could return home with their lives destroyed and ended. Of course, that's not always the case. The White Lotus Season 1 ended with Shane and Rachel still together and the Mossbacher family intact, while Season 2 concluded with Harper and Cameron's marriages still together and the DeGrasso family returning to normalcy. As such, though disaster seems inevitable, it's still possible that Jaclyn, Laurie, and Kate will pretend nothing happened after the White Lotus Season 3.